Thanks. Give it up for the guy with no colon. And the other guy with no appendix. I have no spleen, coincidentally. What are the chances of that? 0. I'm kidding. This is great. I'm happy to be here. This is a really great thing in comedy. It's a great thing to be able to do. So I wore my best outfit. I know it's hard to believe for some of you. I got this at my favorite store. It's called Ross Dress for Less. And thank you, poor people. Thanks. Some of y'all are like, I don't know what that is, because you're rich, and that's fine. Some of you are like, I'm more of a TJ Maxx person myself. Sorry that you're poor. I love Ross. If you don't know Ross Dress for Less, it's a place where you can get brand new clothes for cheaper than used clothes. Like, it is literally cheaper than Goodwill and Salvation Army. It's unbelievable. Like, I'll go to Goodwill and be like, this is a polo shirt. It's 25 years old and it's $4.99. I can get a brand new shirt at Ross Dress for Less for $1.99. Okay? I don't know what kind of business plan that is. It's kind of whack, but I dig it. It's great, man. Their stuff is super cheap. And ironically, the tightest security in the retail clothing game. I don't know how or why, but they got like metal detectors and armed guards and ink explosive tags. It's like, whoa, guys. This ink explosive tag was like $3.99, okay? This shirt was 50 cents. I don't know how that's balancing out. I feel like it has to be a better business plan to get rid of all the strict security and just give the clothes away. Also, like, what kind of awful criminal do you have to be to rob Ross Dress for Less? You know what I mean? What kind of outlaw is like, you know where we should steal stuff from? The place where it's not really valuable and the security is really tight. Yeah. It's a good strategy. It's like, no. You need to go down to Banana Republic and get you an $85 dress shirt. There's no security. There's one girl in there named Chelsea. She's not going to say anything. She's not even allowed to confront you at all. She's just going to be behind the counter, like passive aggressive, like, really? You're going to steal? Is that how you want to live your life? Wow. Oh, you're doing it. Wow, you're taking it. I can't believe it. Well, at least get the black one. It looked good on you. It's crazy, man. I like to go into Ross Dress for Less and mess with the employees a little bit, you know? I'm not trying to be mean, but like they're workers at Ross Dress for Less, so it's not hard to trick them, you know what I mean? I like to just go in there and ask for Ross. Just go right at the counter and be like, I need to speak with Ross. He never comes in. I'd be like, get him out here. Now, how's he running a business? He's never even here. Where is he? And then just wander around the store. Just, like, Ross! Ross! Somebody get Ross! I need to return these pants. Get that $3 put back on my debit card. You can do it at Dick's Sporting Goods too, but it gets weird. It gets... totally different response. It's good to be in Utah. I'm from North Carolina. Thank you. One guy's like, I heard of it. It's a state, and it's a different ball game. Like, you know, the South and the Southwest and the West Coast it's a different ball game. I love being from the South, but I do this all over the United States for tons of money. And that was a joke. You guys really picked right up on that. Wow. Good for you. Please buy some merch. I do this all over the United States, and people will just straight up come up to me after shows and be like, oh, you're from the South. Wow, I feel like all Southerners are stupid. And I'll be like, wow, you said that out loud. And I heard you. You were supposed to think it quietly to yourself inside your mind. People think that all Southerners are stupid, and it makes me angry because, like, at least 20% of us are not. You know what I mean? I've read, like, 15 books, you know? It's frustrating. And I get it. I think people think Southerners are stupid, and a lot of that is because of, like, history and facts and stuff like that. But also... like our voting record, stuff like that. But also, I feel like a lot of it is these television networks are deliberately making television shows to make Southerners look bad. And we don't need any help. That's what the news is for, right? Like, when's the last time you saw a smart Southerner get interviewed about a tornado? Never. There's never a dude on the news like, well, I'll tell you what, that tornado come over the horizon and it just really obliterated our view of the foliage and everything. A lot of debris was loosened up because the velocity of the winds is really uncommon for a storm structure of this nature. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with them, but the whole thing was really exacerbated by the level of precipitation that was coming down that evening. And, you know, we just felt fortunate to have extricated ourselves from the structure when we did, you know. And I tell you, I do think the storm is going to be detrimental to the community, but in the long run, I think you'll see a lot of synergy as the citizens pull together to rebuild. That never happens, right? It's always this dude, he's like, well, that twister come over there, picked my washing machine up off front porch, put it right down through my trampoline, it about knocked me out. I woke up next morning, I was like, Crystal, where's my Camaro? Ah! It's embarrassing. Some of you have a Southern cousin and you're like, is that Daryl? How does he know Daryl? You're making these television shows that make Southerners look bad, and it's so frustrating. Because you see the previews and like, there's no other reason for that to exist, you know? When you see these previews on TV, they're like, tune in at 7 to watch Ricky catch a catfish with his rat tail. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Rat tail catfish fishing is not a sport, okay? It's a hobby. It doesn't even exist. I'm 70% sure. There's all kinds of shows, like these Southern shows, like the truck driving show. You seen that? It's just that dude's driving trucks. It's like, who gets off work at the end of the day, like, you know what I want to do? I want to go home, sit on the couch and relax and watch a show about a guy with a crappier job than me. That really helped me unwind. I just picture a couple of redneck brothers on the couch together like, hey man, flip it back. Flip it back. You seen this? There's a trucking show. These dudes, listen, they drive these trucks, okay? Big old trucks. They drive them like on the road and everything. Just the whole show. And then they get off. That's pretty much the show. But man, I can't even sleep on Wednesdays if I don't watch the trucking show. That's my jam right there. That's my jam. That's good stuff. Flip it back. Flip it back. It's good. It's gooder. You seen it? This is tree cutting show. And what they do, the dudes, very similar dudes. They go into the woods. Listen, they go into the woods. And they cut down trees all the way down onto the ground and everything. Big old trees. And then they get the trees and they put them on these trucks and they truck them. It might be the dudes from the trucking show, actually. Come to think. Last week I thought they was going to let Ricky go because he took the clipboard out of the bulldozer, but they didn't let him go, man. Ricky's a good tree cutter, man. Ricky's a good tree cutter. That guy drinks more Mountain Dew than anybody I've ever seen in my life. That's another thing I'm tired of. I'm tired of Mountain Dew trying to convince me that that's a sports drink. Have you seen their marketing? It's all like, do you like extreme sports? I'm like, yeah. Like Mountain Dew. Like, what? They're like, skydiving, bungee jumping, Mountain Dew. Rock climbing, snowboarding, Mountain Dew. Like, hey, Mountain Dew, those people drink water. That's why they got all those teeth. That's why they're physically fit enough to do all those activities on the commercials. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, Mountain Dew. In fact, don't pee on anybody's leg unless they got a jellyfish sting, because the ammonia takes the Anybody else heard that? Sometimes I wonder if my parents were just hilarious, you know? Like, look at him, honey, peeing on his brother again. That's ridiculous. What an idiot. I'm glad somebody identified with that. That could have gone either way in a state without an ocean. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. I think I'd just be nice to each other. We don't have to agree on everything, but I just want to get back to when we were nice to each other. You know, I don't know when that was, but it's a nice thing to say. You know, I just miss those days of civility. You know, just be kind. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Like, what a simple concept, but so hard to do, you know? People are still racist. Yeah. We asked them not to, but they're still doing it. It's very frustrating. You know? I see them on the news, they're like, this is a white country. Like, no, it's not, dog. Turns out every large city in the United States has a China inside of it. You got mixed up. This is not a white country. You're thinking of a different place. You should take your moped there and see. Check it out. Leave your road. Put a little extra gas in your four-wheeler. Go to another road. Have a look around, you know. Make yourself at home. Like, how mad are those tiki torch dudes going to be when they realize those are made in Mexico? Because you see them marching like, what is it? Travis, what's hecho mean? What's hecho? Three people speak Spanish. That's fine. What is that show? I don't know. That wasn't even a tiki torch. That was a microphone stand. I ain't no dummy. I think that's the only way we're going to defeat racism in this country. We need to beef up our foreign language programs in the schools. Now, before anybody gets upset, I want to be clear. I'm not advocating for more years of schooling or more books or more spending. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying keep everything just the way it is, but really teach the kids how to say really common words correctly. You know? Because it's hard to be a racist when you're saying stuff right. It's hard to be like, man, I'm going to go to a Klan meeting as soon as I finish this quesadilla. You know what I mean? Like, you can't... It's hard to be like, I wish all these Latinos would get out of Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do both. It's tough. I think the way we ought to do it is you have to list it on your driver's license. If you're a racist, you should have to put that on your driver's license. Height, weight, eye color, hair color, organ donor, yes or no? Racist, yes or no? No? It's kind of like organ donor, except the other way around, you know? That way, if you need an organ, we don't want you to get the wrong one. Can't you see the doctor come in the emergency room like, looks like we got a heart for Mr. Williams. I'm so sorry, Mr. Williams. I didn't see that you're racist. Sorry about that. You wouldn't want this one. Okay. Good luck to you, though. Just keep doing this. Just keep doing this. We're going to be fine. Stay positive. Good, man. I grew up in a very, very religious, conservative household, Southern Baptist. And now my mom talks in tongues. And that's true. I like to think that I can kind of say whatever I want to about the religious South because my last name is Cash. My mom talks in tongues, and my dad worked on a pit crew when they still raced NASCAR on dirt. So that's a redneck resume strong enough to say whatever I want to. And if you get mad, we're probably cousins, and we'll figure it out after the show. All right, try to relax. Well, I'm super religious. I joke with her because in the South, people use religion a little differently. We use our Christian beliefs to explain things that make us sad, you know? Like somebody will just be like, well, I got a flat tire on the way to work today. I guess God just did not want me to be there on time. It's probably what it was, Karen. Either that or you just ran over a nail. That's a distinct possibility. Let's not rule it out. I think God was up in heaven like, guys, get in here. I'm about to mess with Karen again. She didn't pray hard enough. She's about to get a flat tire on her Pontiac Vibe. It's such a ridiculous thing, you know. People, that's how they explain things in the South. Like, I come from a NASCAR kind of family, as I mentioned, and when Dale Earnhardt passed away, I mean, it was like a day of mourning in the town I grew up in. People were so sad. But all the Southerners in my little town, they all got together with one unified message, you know? Everybody went out and got that sticker for the back of the PT Cruiser with the number 3 on it, with the halo and the wings. It just said, God needed a driver. Is that what it was? God's just up in heaven like, guys, get in here. I need a driver. I want to go fast in circles. No, I know we already got a driver. I want Dale Earnhardt, number 3, the ginger with the mustache. Get him up here, stat. I know there's a race going on. I'm watching it. That's what made me think of this, okay? I don't know, crash him. Just get him up here. It's crazy, man. It wasn't just rednecks. Some of my black girlfriends did the same thing on Twitter when Whitney Houston passed away. They were like, hashtag Whitney, hashtag sad, hashtag Houston, we have a problem. And they were like, Whitney's up in heaven singing with the angels. She's the lead singer of the angels. She's the choir director in heaven. And it made me feel better because I was bummed. Because, I mean, what a talented musician she was, you know? And it gave me like a warm feeling there for a minute. And then I was like, you know, lead singer of the angels seems like a pretty important job. That probably requires a drug test, I'm thinking. You know? I don't want to be presumptuous. I'm just thinking if I got to pee in a cup to work at Liberty Tax, God's probably not handing out jobs to people with substance abuse problems. Don't have Liberty Tax here? Oh man, what a great company. Do you know what I'm talking about? Liberty Tax? Yeah. Who's getting their taxes done there? I want to meet those people. Like, who is their guerrilla marketing working on? Who's driving by Liberty Tax being like, look there, honey, I really respect this company for dressing up drunk homeless people as a Statue of Liberty. I think I want them to handle all of my financial information. Let's just whip on in there and give them our social security number. What could go wrong? It's so crazy to me. I love those sign people, man. The mattress sale or whatever. You know? Like, how do you get that job? Like, what's the interview? They're like, are you wasted? Yes, sir, I'm wasted. Can you do the Running Man and the Cabbage Patch at the same time? Oh, yes, sir, I'm a pretty good dancer. That's what they're always doing. They always got the sign. They're always doing the Running Man and the Cabbage Patch. It's like... And then they twirl it. No, don't clap for that. That does not deserve clapping. Now I'm all winded. I'm out of shape. That was cardio for me. Oh, man. Well, Mom was a very religious woman, the sweetest woman alive. Very, very religious. She goes to 2 different churches. One of them is the tongue-talking church, and they do a prayer call where they all get on the phone and they all make those sounds together. And it's terrifying. And they do communion while on the prayer call. So they're like, and then they take a cracker. And so anyway, I kind of forgot about that. I tour all the time. And I don't live with my mom, but I visit her for extended periods of time, often, in between comedy, because my wife left. And I'm coming off tour. I've been in the car for like 10 hours. And sometimes I try not to drink a whole lot when I'm in the car because I don't want to have to use the bathroom, you know? So I get to her house and I'm just like parched. I'm like completely, like so thirsty. And I open the refrigerator and she's in the living room, like on the other side of the kitchen. Open the refrigerator and eye level is this big bottle of grape juice. And I'm like, yeah, I'm about to crush that. And by the way, grape juice, does anybody ever buy that? Anybody ever buy grape juice? Nobody ever buys grape juice, but it's everywhere. They're still in business. I think it's a front for some kind of drug cartel or something. They got commercials, billboards, trucks, a big distribution system. Nobody buys it. Nobody in here's ever bought it, ever once. But I see it on the shelf staring at me, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is about to happen. And so I'm just taking it to the face, and it's so good. It's just that sweet Concord grape nectar. And then I start thinking, like, this is her house. That was rude of me to just drink it out of the bottle without even asking, you know? So I stop and I'm like, hey, Mom? She's like, yeah? I was like, can I drink this grape juice? She gets quiet for a minute, and then she says, well, I had that for my communion. And I was like, oh. And I was like, well, I don't want to drink all the blood. And I thought she was going to get mad at me, and then all of a sudden she goes, there's some crackers in there too if you want some of the blood. That was weird. It's the funniest thing she's ever said. So, you're not holding back your laughs for me, you're holding back for my mom. It's good. My mom, it's just my mom now. My dad passed away. It was like one of the hardest things. If you've lost a parent, you know how hard it is. But it was really tough, and we didn't see it coming. It happened really fast. And the thing about my dad, the thing that made it extra hard, my dad was just like the best guy in the world. I mean, just the best guy you ever met. Just kind and humble and quiet and selfless, and you know, he's always doing something for other people. He never complained, never bought himself anything, never wanted for anything. Just like totally calm water, you know? I'm still winded. And the only thing he would ever complain about, every once in a while, when my mom would leave the room, like on the holidays, he would lean forward and he would look at me and my brother and my sister, and he would make sure she was gone, and he would go, y'all think we got enough knickknacks in here? Because my mom's a 75-year-old white lady who lives at the beach, and she loves knickknacks. I mean, just everywhere. It's nice. It's not hoarderish. It's very clean, but it's just seashells and pelicans and lighthouses and sailboats and flip-flops and bird baths. And it's live, laugh, love. Dance like no one's watching. You know, it's a lot of that. And my dad, I think he probably just sat back in his recliner and looked around the house. It was like, $50, $80, $150, $65. That was only $1 because it was from Ross Dress for Less. $80, you know, he's like, we got $200,000 worth of nonsense in this house. It was the only thing that drove him crazy. He was still a good sport about it, you know. He would kind of nudge me and be like, think we've got enough items on every surface of the house? It's crazy. It's like if you're going to set your lighthouse cut coaster down, you're going to have to move the southern living over by the coastal living, and then you got to move those mallard duck playing cards over by the swan with the fake flowers in it, and push those over by the sand dollars and the metal starfish, you know, and then you can put the lighthouse cut down on the flip-flop coaster. And it's nice. It's all very cute and nice. It's just a lot of it, you know. And I think my dad was like, why you got to put all this stuff on the table? It's already a dolphin. The table is a dolphin. Why do you have to decorate a decoration? You know? But when my dad passed, my mom sat us down and she said, listen, it happened fast. She was like, you know, I don't know what to do. I just want to get him cremated so I can kind of have time to think about what to do. I'm just overwhelmed. And we said, Mom, we support you, like, no matter what. You know, whatever you need to do, we got your back. And she was like, you know, and I want to get him a really beautiful urn. And I was like, well, Mom, you know, Dad was a simple guy. He never spent money on anything for himself. He was really frugal and modest. He would have wanted you to save that money, get him a simple urn, and save that money for something important, like pelicans and sailboats. You know? She was like, no, I want to get him a nice urn. So we did. We got him, and it was beautiful. Beautiful urns, very nautical. It's kind of, it's this blue-green, it's got some like burlap kind of rope around, and it's got a piece of driftwood on the top of the lid, and It's very coastal, and it has little tiny, it's clay, it's a ceramics piece. It has little baby sea turtles going all the way up the urn. Beautiful piece. And we have it sitting on a table in the living room with a sailboat, metal sailboat hanging behind it, and a conch shell to the left of it, and this little palm tree thing to the right of it. He became a knick-knack, is what I'm trying to tell you. And it's like the only thing he didn't want to be, just circle of life. I feel like he's up in heaven like, are you kidding me? Guys, thank you so much. Y'all been great. I love you. Have a good night.
Hey everybody, this is Cliff Cash, your new best friend. Thank you so much for watching my dry bar special. It really means a lot to me, and it would mean even more to me if you would leave me a great tip. I'm actually saving up to move out of my mom's house. So just don't tell her that, because she'll probably be sad.